Good evening. I want to share with you the deep sorrow and shock that I have been feeling and is shared by Rabbi Infeld and our president Gary Miller and all of us here at Beth Israel as we've heard the news of the terrible shooting yesterday in Quebec at the Islamic Cultural Center in Quebec City. We as Jews and all people of faith really hold as a high value the sanctity of sacred spaces and the safety that those spaces should provide. I want to just quickly read for you a little bit of the statement from the Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs Rabbinic Caucus. They put out a statement. Rabbi Infeld is on the executive of this caucus, and he shares his grief with us from his sabbatical in Australia. The Rabbinic Caucus said, "We were horrified by the news of the shooting at the Islamic Cultural Center in which 6 people were murdered and many others injured. We unequivocally condemn and are deeply saddened by last night's disturbing attack. Such acts of hate have no place in our country. Houses of worship are safe havens for communities to come together in prayer, making this attack especially heinous. An attack on one faith group is an attack on all of us. One of the core teachings of Judaism is the sanctity of every life. Our thoughts and prayers are with the victims, their families, and the community." The Rabbinical Association of Vancouver has also been working on a statement which will be published in the next hour or two. I want to invite you to come to services this Friday evening, where I'll share some more words reflecting on this heinous attack and also read a special prayer for the victims, survivors, and their families. There's a text in our rabbinic literature that tells us that mitzvah goreret mitzvah. A one mitzvah can lead to another mitzvah. But it also says in the second half of the statement that avera goreret avera. A sin leads to another sin. The current atmosphere around the world is so charged and politically upsetting in so many places that there are hateful words and attacks being flung at all sorts of people. And we learn also that words can lead to actions, so that the sin of hateful words can and does all too often lead to the sin of hateful actions. My prayer for us is that we find ways to share positive words and messages with each other in coming days. I do want to mention to you that there are some vigils coming up around the country. The Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs, CJA, on their national website, cja.ca, has 20 locations around the country with one or even more vigils on different days in each place, including one in Vancouver just after Shabbat, I believe at 5:30 on this coming Saturday evening. It's at the Al-Masjid Al-Jamia mosque in Vancouver, 655 West 8th Avenue. If you go to their website, you can see a list of all the vigils. I do want to share one more time that I've spoken with Rabbi Infeld, and he shares this deep sorrow. I also just spoke with our president, Gary Miller. Not only does he share this sorrow, but it's incredibly personal, as he grew up only a kilometer from the mosque where the shooting took place yesterday. May we see and hear better things in coming days. Shalom.